Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 181 of NerdPod Generations. As always, I am one of your illustrious hosts, Steve Taylor, along with the always lovely Al Judson. Hello, sir.
Hello, friends and enemies.
Hi, buddy.
What's up, dude?
It's been a week, man. It's been a week.
Oh, my God. We were just talking about it before the show. It's been a week.
Yeah.
It's
a lot going on in the world.
It's too much. It's frankly too much.
It is. Luckily, we have a lot of pop culture stuff to talk about, which is good.
Yes.
And we have an endless supply of stuff coming down the pipe, so...
Yeah, that's the good thing.
One thing I'm excited about, and I keep forgetting this, is come April when the Super Mario Bros. Movie comes out, Mortal Kombat 2 also comes out in that same time.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah.
I think it comes out on the same day.
It might.
So
it
I'm
might
very
be.
excited about
Yeah,
that.
because we joked about you dropping off your son to one and sneaking into the other, and you said no because he wants to see.
He wants to see the second one so bad, man. Oh, folks. So this is NerdPod Generations episode 181. That means there are 180 previous episodes of Pure Gold. So please, if you are interested in what you are hearing, if you like what you are hearing, please go back and listen to our back catalog. You can do this by going to nerdpodgen.com. There are links there to not only the most recent podcast, but also links to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and also links to our YouTube channel, where Al is very graciously adding up clips and full episodes past and present. When you go, we do only ask that you subscribe to either the podcast or the YouTube channel, and then also let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any questions. Let us know if you have a topic you want us to talk about, because a lot of times we are quite literally pulling topics out of our ass a couple days before we have to record.
That may be what happened today.
You know what, though? It keeps us fresh.
Yeah.
Keeps us feeling
So here's the thing. I do have a little cinema pantry.
Yeah.
It's not quite the Criterion closet or whatever they have where they put people in it and they're like, oh, what are all these movies mean to you? And I have a little backlog from late 2025 that I put on the shelf, and that's what we're taking down today. We're bringing one of those down off the shelf, and we're saying, we were in hiatus. Here is our review for Wake Up Dead Man.
Which is on Netflix, so it's available to most people listening.
Yeah.
So hopefully if you have not seen it, you listen to what we have to say and you're like, you know what?
Or I also like the idea of people just being interested in our opinion on this thing that they've also seen.
Yeah.
It's kind of water cooler talk kind of thing.
And we do go into that nerdy depths of we kind of pick it apart a little bit.
Yeah.
And we have been very good, and I've heard this from people in the past, at changing people's perspective on things. Mm-hmm. And I have something in my watch, play, read I'm going to talk about.
Oh, exciting, exciting.
You kind of know. I mentioned this earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to kick off then, or do you want to
So, I mean, if you want.
It's up to you.
Okay, so
the only thing I did want to say at the top of the show before we dive into it, I do think it is my civic duty, because I've been doing this to also pass on the message. Keep calling senators. I call my senators every day, literally. Keep calling them and letting them know that a lot of what is happening is not okay. And just because we're also talking about movies and other things doesn't mean we've forgotten about all of the...
we just had a half-hour discussion of this before we started.
The top 5 constitutional rights are being trampled right now.
Yes.
And that's not okay. That's not okay.
And hopefully you have a better senator than Chuck Schumer.
Yes.
All right, so we do start every episode with what you've been watching, playing, reading. I'm going to do a quick shout-out to... once again, I have been deep diving into Star Trek.
Yes.
And I watched Star Trek Generations again. You know, this is one of those borderline ones where it's not a great movie.
Yeah.
But it has enjoyable moments, and it has some really nice scenes.
This is the Tom Hardy one?
No, that's Nemesis. This is the one with Kirk and Picard.
Yes,
the very first one of the Next Generation crew.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so it was you know, I'm going down... My next one is going to be Insurrection, which I am not looking forward to, because I've been watching the Next Generation ones out of order. I started with First Contact, went back to Generations, now I'm going to do Insurrection, which I am not looking forward to, because this is on par. I think Insurrection might be my least favorite of the original 10. Because 5, as bad as it is, it has some good moments. I don't believe Insurrection has any good moments.
No.
It's that bad.
Yeah, I haven't seen Insurrection in a while.
It's been a while for me, too, so I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Last night, the kids and my wife and I did watch Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Great movie. God, I forget how great they... Like... The first one is really good.
The second
one is great.
The second one is its own, like, the first one becomes a weird prequel because the second one is so clearly the first in the franchise.
Yes. And then the third one is...
And then the third one,
wow. Dynamite. Which I already warned my kids, because they're like, yeah, it was really good.
Dark.
It was intense. I'm like, oh, it gets more intense, just wait.
It gets concentration camp dark.
Yeah, pretty bad. And but we are excited, because I still have not seen Kingdom on the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, it's really good.
But what we're going to do is we're going to watch it all as a family. It's going to be one of the first times that I'm going to see a movie with my kids that I have not seen yet.
I'm going to be very curious to hear your opinion on things.
Yeah.
Siri from Witcher on Netflix.
She plays one of the humans, right?
She is Nova.
Okay.
And so it's like, I'm very curious to see what you think. I really liked it. I've
heard great things.
I thought it was an excellent add-on to a series that essentially could have ended.
Oh, absolutely.
But now this allows it to continue in this new way, and it peaks us into a world that we've been kind of waiting for since 2010. So I really like that movie a lot.
I am looking forward to it. So the big thing I want to talk about is something that, shout out to Billy, my friend Billy at work, who guilted me into giving Wonderman a chance.
Yeah.
So let me express flat out, as a Wonderman comic book character TV show, it is awful.
I bet.
It has really nothing to do with the character. The lead character does have powers, where we thought in the trailers he wasn't a powered individual. He is.
Does he get powers during the show?
No, he has them. He just has them.
And where's he been this whole time?
It's one of those things that, kind of like the old X-Men movies, he had him as a kid, it caused the issues, so now he's trying to hide them from everybody. So...
Is there an experiment that gave him his powers, or did he just wake up one day and had them?
As of what this first season, he just had powers.
Nope. Nope.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But you got to listen to everything.
I don't know if I do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
That's what a lot of people say about She-Hulk, and I'm like, I don't know.
Because there is an unfortunate side to this show.
Is it Trevor Slattery shaped?
No. And that's the shocking part. Because if you take out every superhero reference, because I'll be honest, the superhero part of it, like him having superpowers, is such a minor part of this show. Like, it has a small driving force on the narrative. So the two leads, which are the gentleman that plays Wonderman, which I can't pronounce his name.
Let me give it a
Yahya Abdul-Mateen.
Yeah, he was also Black Manta in Aquaman.
Yes, he was Black Man in Aquaman. He was in the Watchmen TV show remake.
Oh, right. He was Dr. Manhattan.
He was Dr. Manhattan. Him and Trevor Slattery. Because Trevor, what they did in this is they didn't make him into a joke. They made him into just like a seasoned actor who becomes a mentor to this character.
But that's so dumb.
It's dumb. No, it's dumb.
That's dumb within the canon of the world.
Within the canon, exactly.
Within the canon of the world, that's so fun. That's like That's like Saddam Hussein being like, I was just pretending to be a dictator.
Yes.
I've been an actor the whole time. Here, I'm going to go out for an Academy Award and then becoming Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
No. That's fucking dumb.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the frustrating part about this. Like, if you went into this never seeing a Marvel property whatsoever, and you just watched the shows with the interactions between these two, and they're acting together, they're dealing with the family problems, his family and him have issues.
Yeah, because what's his nuts? Eric is a douchebag. Also, Grim Reaper.
Yes.
Tell me, does he have one arm?
No.
Does he have a villain track of any kind?
No.
Does he work for a secret? No. Is he a fucking member of Hydra?
He's an accountant.
No!
Listen,
no!
That's what I'm saying.
No!
Stop it! That's what I'm saying! That's what I'm saying! Let me get it out and then you rant. It is, as far as a Marvel show, it's horrible. It's the worst. It's up there as one of the worst things. If you can take away, and that's what frustrated me, is the performances were actually really, really good. and the acting was great. And the interactions, non-superhero, non-MCU related, were really well done.
Yeah.
And then anytime they inputted anything that connected it to the MCU is where it completely went off the rails. Including right in the beginning, I wish you could have watched it. Mm-hmm. The guy from Damage Control. Damage Control.
Oh, I saw Damage Control was in it.
I was like, oh my god, I would have loved it.
Oh, it's so stupid. You took something really cool and you ruined it.
Yes.
Like everything else in the everything after Phase 3 and a lot of things leading into Phase 3, like just took the comics and took a giant fucking shit on them.
Oh, absolutely.
And like I'm so frustrated because I know what these things should be, and I see this army of 12-year-olds and this cadre of like 20-year-olds who only know these movies and have only been exposed to these movies and are solely devoted to these movies. And I'm like, but you're so stupid because the stuff that you love is portrayed so badly here. Yeah. And there's a way better version of it, and all you have to do is read a comic book.
And like, this isn't a show that they can say, well, it's not made for you, it's made for kids.
No, this was made for us.
This was made for adults. Yeah. This was an adult comedy / drama / like buddy pick. And so it really was not made for any of that. And as much as I did enjoy some of it, I do give it a solid, I think I told my friend, I think I gave it a D. Just because there were some, like I said, there were some parts that were enjoyable.
Yeah.
No, I gave it a B because of the enjoyable parts. If you're judging it as a superhero show and in the Marvel canon, it's an F.
How can we not?
Well, that's the thing.
You wrote a really good paper for a different class.
Yes.
So go write it in that class.
Well, that was
I don't care about this paper. This paper was supposed to be on this wholly different subject, and you decided not to do that.
The only reason I think I had the reaction I had to it is I went in knowing that the Wonderman side of it was going to be terrible.
Yeah.
So I went into it completely disconnected from all of that.
Go ahead.
Once again, the ending of the story. Spoilers.
Here. First off, tell me what the main through line plot of the show is.
The main through line plot is Trevor Slattery comes back to the United States. Mm-hmm. Gets automatically arrested by the FBI.
Because he has to be.
Because he didn't finish his...
Yeah.
So Damage Control gets a hold of him, and they say, there is this character with powers, which is the Wonder Man character. Or Simon Williams. He's not Wonder Man yet. We've been keeping an eye on him. But we need to get more like information so we can arrest him and put him into custody because he's a very dangerous person. So they know he's an actor and he's trying out for roles. So they have Trevor. They say go and just happen to, because he knows your background. He's like an acting nerd.
Okay.
So he knows Trevor Slattery. Everyone knows. Like everyone in this knows that he played the Mandarin. Like everyone's like, oh, you're that guy that played the Mandarin. Blah, blah, blah.
And that's not a deal breaker for anybody.
No, but
that's wild.
Honestly, though, that's the only probably realistic part. Is I could see the idiots in this country seeing him and being like, oh, dude, you were the guy that played the Mandarin. Like, okay, I can't actually buy that shit.
Oh, but that's the problem. That's a problem in and of itself.
That is a problem. So what it is Trevor kind of creates these moments where they run into each other and they become friends and Trevor becomes his mentor. But then there actually is a Wonder Man movie being made because there is an old movie back in the day, like the OG, like say the OG Superman, and they're making the new Superman. And he went there with his father when he saw the original one, Simon Williams. He went there with his father, and Wonder Man has always been a big part of his life because his father died. And so he goes, I'm an actor, I gotta get this part. But he's this like super method, and he never gets roles because he's always arguing, oh, I don't think my character would do this. Kind of like Crispin Glover type stuff.
Okay, yeah. He's bad at taking direction.
Trevor helps him like just put that stuff to rest and just be an actor, and he gets hired as Wonder Man, and Trevor gets hired as Bartleby as like sidekick.
Okay.
And then it gets into, towards the end, the whole thing where he finds out that why Trevor's helping him and why Trevor's there, and then Trevor's like fighting between helping Damage Control or being on Simon's side, and like there's this whole dichotomy in the relationship. And then it gets to the end where it really falls apart in the final episode.
Okay.
Really falls apart, because this is where...
It was standing up solid before?
It was... Once again, they weren't leaning into the superhero part of it.
No, even so, like this sounds like there's a thimble's worth of plot stretched out like taffy.
It gets to the end where Simon has this like gets so fucking mad when he finds out Trevor lied to him.
Yeah.
That he walks, like, it's in the middle of the night, he walks onto Wonderman's set because they're currently filming the movie, and he has this, like, he has his reaction where, like, everything around him just explodes.
Uh-huh.
And Damage Control goes, we got him. And then Trevor decides to put out a new Mandarin video saying he's the one that bombed it, and he actually has always been the Mandarin all along, and he's doing the voice, and I'm like, like, that's where it kind of... And then he gets put into a max security prison that Simon goes to at the end and uses his powers to break him out. And it's like...
accomplishing the goal that Damage Control wanted.
It did,
in the first place.
And it took away everything that they did in the show.
Exactly.
And that's where I was like, I was on board for a lot of it because of, once again, not counting the superhero stuff, the actual acting and characters were enjoyable to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just went off the rails. And I was bummed by that.
It sounds like, from a purely, like, okay, credentials. I have only seen the first teaser trailer for this, where they didn't show anything that looked like superpowers at all. It sounds like it's actually remarkably close to that, where the entire story is just about him trying to do this job, struggling with being the kind of actor that the director, who seems like a really like a hard person to be around, just to like look at.
It's like a Kubrick.
He looks like Mojo.
Yeah.
Like I would not want to look at him for a length of period of time. And that seems to be by design.
Oh, and I did forget to put in what the through line of why he wants to really hide his powers is there was an actor called Doorman back in the day, somebody that could phase, and
no, he can't.
No, it's people can like he could push things through his body.
No, I understand, but that's not what Doorman can do.
I know that's not what Doorman can do.
Why would you cite Doorman if you're? This is the Wrecking Crew all over again.
But this was one of the worst episodes, was the Doorman episode, because it was like a flashback, and one of the main characters in it is Josh Gad, playing Josh Gad.
I know.
And the whole thing is Josh Gad went inside of him in a movie, and he was drunk, and so he freaked out, and Josh Gad just disappeared. And because of that, there's like a rule in Hollywood that you cannot be an actor if you have powers.
This is so stupid. This is so dumb.
Yeah, so
this is so dumb.
That was the underlying reason why he had to hide his ability.
This is so stupid.
Yeah.
This is so dumb. This is incomprehensibly stupid.
It's not Wonderman.
This is bad.
This
isn't just not Wonderman, Steve. This is so bad. This goes right back to, why are you making it?
Yeah.
Then why did you make it?
But I do have to say, though, and I give my friend credit on this. He used which we always say, we're not going to shit on something unless we actually have seen it.
Good.
To shit on it.
Good.
So that's why I watched it. That was the main reason, because we were shitting on it so much, and I'm like, I got to at least.
Let me give my response to your notes.
Okay.
Which is as close to this thing as I'm going to get. Because this sounds like a... you remember the moment in Jurassic Park where they're walking through the bush and they find the Triceratops, and Jeff Goldblum pulls up and he looks over and he says, "That's a big pile of shit." Mm-hmm. Hello.
Well, here's where I'll. The one thing I will say is, if you look at She-Hulk, terrible from start to finish.
Well, at least I see what you're going for, and I agree with this point.
So. It's the mundane in between these superhero moments that are horrible in She-Hulk. They're great in this show.
I was thinking
That's the difference.
I was thinking also Tatiana Maslany is really good in She-Hulk. for how bad the writing is that they
Yes.
give her, she's really good as Jen Walters. And I really like the stuff where she breaks the fourth wall and all these other things. It's a lot of the problems and plot lines that become the issue.
Yes.
It sounds like Yahya Abdul-Mateen.
Yeah.
He does a really good job in the show with absolute nonsense bullshit that they give him, which makes it worse because if you gave him something good and you stuck to the comics and you tried to do something interesting, then instantly it would pull us more into what's going on here. So instead of doing this whole nonsense where he's trying to hide his powers and where has he been this whole time while people are fucking dying, how about this thing? Wonder Man has not always been a hero. Wonder Man began, Simon Williams began as a villain. There's a reason why his brother is a villain, because he was also a villain. He spent time on the board of the Masters of Evil. Like he has been a bad guy in the past. And so he also has conflict with the Avengers over how they do things. He has been an Avenger. He has been on both sides of the Avengers where he's fought them, but he's also been a part of them. But also he's been a civilian and he watches how the Avengers change people's lives. And he has problems with some of their actions. Explore literally any of these ideas. That's why he doesn't use his powers, is because he looks at the Avengers and he says that's not right. Or because the reason he hasn't interacted with other people is because something bad happened as a result of one of the Avengers. Or, you know, he had all these issues with how Tony Stark handled things when he was working out of LA. He found it really disruptive. He found it to be a problem. He had these run-ins. He had these issues. And guess what? You don't even have to bring in RDJ because he's fucking dead. So, like, have him be somebody who maybe said something mean about about Iron Man at some point to the wrong person, and now he has trouble finding jobs. You know, there's stuff you can do. There's interesting ideas you can explore here, and you're just not doing it. Also, he's not born with his powers. He gets his powers from AIM. So you have an opportunity for a really cool villain that was fully wasted in Iron Man 3. Because what could be a solution to his problem? His brother works for AIM. AIM seems to be just the security company that isn't anything big and maybe once had ties to the Mandarin and now they're trying to turn it around. Well, AIM is actually more of a scientific cult than anything.
Yeah.
And they want to bring in a patsy to do an experiment on that's going to make them better than ever, right? You want to change the world. You look at how the Avengers handle things and you hate it. You look at how the government handles things and you hate it. You look at Hydra and you hate it. You want to change the world. Here's an experiment that's going to help you do it. You're a failed actor. You have nothing going for you. Do this instead. Gets powers. Has to go through the whole journey of having to deal with his powers. You don't even have to have a super suit because there's versions of Wonder Man where he doesn't even have a suit. He just turns purple. So now you can do your favorite thing, which is CGI, and you have an excuse to do it. Why are you doing this the dumbest way possible? And then on top of it, you're treading all over your own canon. So not only are you ruining the canon of a character who I think doesn't get enough screen time, because then you could do Count Nefarious, you could do Atlas, you could do Madame Mask. There's so many people that Simon is tied to in the dark side of justice, but then he's also tied to fucking She-Hulk and Carol Danvers and Wanda Maximoff and The Vision. You could even do a line where at some point Simon had a brain scan done and Ultron took part of that and used it when creating Vision. So it's like a patch. He had a hole in Vision's code and he needed a patch and took it out of Simon Williams. And now it's like, oh, so there is a connection between Vision and Simon. So now if Wanda is alive and ever meets Simon, maybe there's a spark and she's like, what is this? I don't understand. But he's like so much like my husband in this weird way. I don't get it. You have so many interesting things that you could be doing. And you can't even get Doorman right? Are you fucking... Doorman can open a door and it goes anywhere. That's Doorman's power. He opens a door and it can go anywhere. That's his power.
Oh, they got him real wrong.
They got him fully wrong. Yeah. So what are you doing with everything. Just don't make it. Then just don't make it. If you're not going to do it, if you're not going to write a paper for this class, then don't write the paper.
You know they're going to keep making shit
but
as long
it's
as
infuriating. Then don't call it Wonderman. Then do something else. Then have this be Brightburn, where it is so fucking very clearly this one thing, and we can all make fun of you for not being creative enough to do something interesting, but at least it's an independent actor-based character who is not Simon Williams. I'd rather have you fully make up a guy with a different power set and not have it be Simon.
And that's why I really wished this wasn't a Marvel property. Like, if they, once again, if you take out every superhero connection in this, and you just made Ben Kingsley's character, not Trevor, but he could just have these actors still do the same type of thing, and you have the mentorship, and there's some humor in there, and you build a story around that, I think it would have been a 10 out of 10 show.
It reminds me, from your description, it reminds me a lot of Secret Invasion, in that there are bones here that you could build on.
Yes.
But the way that you've constructed around it makes no fucking sense.
And you brought this up in your rant, which I do give them credit. This, and I think the thing that I appreciated the most, there was pretty much no CGI in this, which is so refreshing in anything from the MCU not to have CGI.
Yeah, but
because it's usually done too much.
I agree, but you still have to have the superhero part of the superhero story. Like, that's the thing that makes me the most angry, is you guys are still forgetting that the main thing here is that it's a superhero story.
This is their misjudged take on an origin story.
Okay, cool.
Because at the end, the last scene is like it's like Superman flying out of the Fortress of Solitude in the 77 movie. Where it's like he's did all his training and now he's Superman and he's going to fly in front of the camera on his way to Metropolis. That's what the very last scene of this is. It's like, all right, he realizes that I don't even know if that's the other problem I have with the finale. Everyone knows, like, he pretended that he was training for a movie and he got one of the security guards to let him follow him. So he goes, I want to learn this character, I want to follow you, and blah, blah, blah. And the security guard gets him into this Supermax prison. And so everyone knows Simon Williams is the one that broke out Trevor Slattery, a.k.a. the Mandarin. So it's like the whole episode was setting him up to be a good guy. But at the end, it's obvious he's a villain now because he has to be.
He has to at least be underground. Because he can't be, he's wanted by the police.
But that's what I mean. Like, even everyone in the world knows that this guy's a bad guy.
Yeah.
So that also
who's aligned with a guy that keeps on taking credit for terrorist actions.
Yes.
And so, like, at the very least, it's not a good person to align with.
No.
At the very least, it's not a good person to be seen with.
And he committed a massive felony by breaking this criminal.
He gave damage control everything that they wanted. No, my problem is, like, I read Marvel Comics. The character moments are important, right? I love character moments. Character moments are super, super important. I also need there to be actual superhero stuff in my superhero story. There should be at least one superhero fight, not just like an alley fight with two people punching where you rehearsed it for 3 hours. I want like a superhero fight once per episode. It's non-negotiable. This is a superhero show.
That's where the other problem
This is a superhero show. This has been the problem with everything, is that looking at She-Hulk, when they do have fights, it's stuff like the quote-unquote wrecking crew, in quotation marks, and no way actually, fighting She-Hulk. And I get it. It's done for female revenge purposes, which is great. But also, as a superhero fan, if the Wrecking Crew jumped She-Hulk, that would be a dope-ass fight. And one that Jen could still win on her own. So which is better? Female revenge, where she gets jumped by mugger rapists and doesn't have to do anything because they're scared of her, or where she gets jumped by actual superhero or supervillain people and has to fight them off and wins 4-on-1. Which would you rather see?
Well, and you're having a big fight each episode. One of my other issues with the show was 22 to 27 minutes per episode.
No, exactly.
You can't have that
there's
in
nothing
a show like this.
That's why it's the cotton candy. I said taffy before. Yeah. It's cotton candy. You get this little cup of sugar crystals and you pour it in, the machine spins it around and it turns into something that looks really big. Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's not really big. It's all air, and if you put it in water, it would dissolve instantly, as even a raccoon will find out. And yet, these Marvel fans insist on being dumber than raccoons, because they look at this and they say, oh, Marvel's back, people! Marvel's back!
Well, that's the thing, is I don't think it's doing well, so I don't think those fans exist anymore, but Marvel's still putting this shit out.
Then there's AI memes that I keep getting sent over it.
Yeah.
Because I've seen several memes about it, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's AI.
This is trying to trick me into watching it. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's not doing.
Yeah.
No Marvel property has done well. Taking Wolverine and Deadpool out, that is an anomaly. No Marvel entity has done well.
Yeah.
In 5 years.
Yeah. No, they not since Endgame. I think WandaVision was the last big one.
No Way Home.
But that is so, like, it's connected to the MCU, but it's hard for me to say that it is a Marvel property because there is input from Sony and because that movie was built on top of a mountain. So it's like, oh, it did really well because it's built on top of, it's the highest thing ever because it's built on top of a mountain. And it's like, no, you just built it on top of a mountain, and it was a mountain that people really like to go to and were very connected to. And so people went and saw this new cabin that you built on top of this mountain, but it doesn't make it anything special. It's no more special than any other.
And I watched it recently, and it doesn't hold up.
It's not very good.
No.
It's the best of those movies, which is saying how bad those movies are. It's all based on nostalgia. The entire thing is based on nostalgia. And it has no bearing on anything. Nothing important happens in that movie. Nothing effective is done.
Yeah.
There's no interesting plot lines. There's this stupid argument about how to deal with villains. But it's not about whether you can make them better. It's about what happens to those villains when they go back to the moment where they were all dying. Mm-hmm. The only one who wasn't dying was Sandman. He went off and lived a life that was peaceful at the end of Spider-Man 3. So Goblin, dead. You're not going to send him back, and in the moment that he was plucked from, he's going to be suddenly a better person. He's still going to die in that fight.
Yeah.
Because now he's a different person. Ock, when you took him out, he was building a machine that was about to explode and send him to the bottom of a river.
Yeah.
Okay?
Lizard just died.
Yeah, Lizard and Electro, you're just sending back to prison.
Yeah.
But now they don't have their powers, or their powers are augmented in some way. So it's like, okay. And now they go back to prison in another universe. So why did we have this whole discourse about it? And that's it. That's what you got. So I don't understand this. The rationale for things doesn't make any sense. The fact that they use this argument that anybody who knows who Peter is as Spider-Man gets pulled into this universe, but the Dane DeHaan Green Goblin isn't there and he knows who Spider-Man is. So Venom, who's never met Peter Parker and only knows because of some stupid jerry-rigged newfangled retcon where the symbiotes are all somehow have a hive mind across dimensions, which makes no fucking sense.
It's so dumb.
But it somehow pulls Tom Hardy into this universe for 5 minutes and then sends him back. Why? Who can fucking say? I don't know. It makes no fucking sense. But this is tying this back to Wonderman. This is the thing. That has never come up and it never will.
Yep.
Black Knight at the end of the Eternals. Never coming up, never will.
Star
Fox at the end of the Eternals, never going to come up again. She-Hulk may never be in another thing. Right now, there's a lot of rumors that Tatiana Maslany has been fired or stepped away, and she says, that's not true. Like, a lot of stuff that they've been working on for the last few years is never going to come up again.
Yeah.
And I'm so tired of Marvel being like, oh, but here's the ending and he'll be back. And it's like, he's never coming back.
Yeah.
Wonder Man's not going to be in Doomsday.
No, I doubt we'll ever see his character again.
We'll never, because a lot of those TV show people have never come back again. Kate Bishop has never come back again, and that was a fairly successful series, all things considered. Echo's never going to be in anything ever again.
Fuck no.
Like, are you kidding me? These characters are never coming back.
Yeah.
They can't get Daredevil in a movie. You think Simon Williams is going to jump the line? No. You're insane.
Yeah.
The only way that it goes is backwards. This is like movie stars in the 90s. Once you stopped being on TV and went to movies, you could not go back to TV.
Yes.
You now had to be a movie actor. It would be considered a demotion to go back to TV when you were an actor in the 90s. Once you made that jump, you were done being on TV. That's no commercials. That's no cameos unless it's a really, really good one. And like Scarlet Witch got a TV show and came back to the movie because she was already in the movies. Captain America got a TV show and came back to the movies because he had already been in the movies. These guys that were never in the movies are never going to make it to the movies.
No, not even close.
They're never going to make it to the movies. Maybe in a montage at the end. But again, Endgame was after Daredevil, which supposedly was in some way going on during the events of Endgame. Daredevil is not at the Avengers compound, which is, again, about, I want to say, a 2-hour drive from Manhattan. I think all this is pointless.
They need to just stop.
Yeah.
They need to stop.
They put it on ice for 2 years. Make it so we actually want it again.
No, they need to put it on ice for more 2 years.
Yeah.
They need a full facelift reboot. Get rid of Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
They need to do something.
No, you need to, I think all Disney stuff, except for the parks, should be shut down.
Oh, no, the parks need to be burned. The parks are the Antichrist.
I'll take your word for it because I've never been.
Al, everything wrong in this world is the Disney
Starts at the Disney parks.
They absolutely do. It is the absolute epitome of just horrible capitalism and gluttony is the Disney parks. And they need to fucking go away.
Yeah.
Burn them to the fucking ground. That's how bad they are.
I'll take your word for it.
If you went, you would have the same example.
I can't because I literally won't allow myself to go to Florida.
Yeah.
Me and Kelly joke that if we went to a Disney World, we would probably go to, if we went to Disneyland, we'd go to California. But if we wanted to go to any other Disney park
Like
that wasn't
Euro
Disneyland,
Disney or Japan or
I would
something.
go to Japan Disney before I went to or Florida Disney. I would.
I still get depressed thinking about those memories of just looking at the cattle walking around those parks.
Yeah.
It was
abysmal. I have that moment sometimes. I had it a lot in New York where you just look around at how things have been prioritized and it makes you feel kind of sick. You feel kind of like you're going to throw up for a second and you have to choke it back and be like, okay.
It is truly the worst of our country is Disney World.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've heard that from more than one person.